What is up, and welcome to this Junior's Gasoline Alley. Today, you're joining me to check out my brand new toy that I just picked up. It's from a company, I've never actually owned one of their cars before, and I got it on a really great deal. I've got my first Axial crawler. This is the Axial Bomber. This is the V2 Bomber RR10. This is a 1/10 scale buggy style truck, and as you can see, they retailed for $479. However, this was actually on sale for $250. It was a crazy deal, and I had to take a peek inside. But let's pop it out together, check it out, and then we'll see how it does. So this here is supposed to be a rock racer, and that is definitely what it looks like. So it's pretty cool because this particular rig comes with their DX3 controller, which is a nice system, and a little thumb button there for one-handed controlling. And pulling the truck out, it looks absolutely epic. Take a look at this. So here we've got the little solid front axle with our servo right on the front end. Battery goes underneath this tray. Flip it upside down, and you'll see that we've got the 4-link rear suspension. It's 4-link suspension up front. And in the packaging comes a lot of different extra hardware. You can add in, different helmets, different looks to the guys inside of there, as well as set it up with some light bars I think you can build into it too. Of course, nothing too exciting with the manual, but yeah, read it. Why not? And boom, look at this thing go. So pretty nice looking suspension. The rear has a ton of travel, lots of room for us to be able to get some good crawling action. And this has 2.2-inch tires, 5.5-inch in diameter, but the 2.2 wheels. These are a true beadlock setup. Out back does have the offset pumpkins of these nice heavy-duty axles. You've got a spare 5th tire. Oil-filled shocks, although one thing I noticed, this particular one is already leaking, so I'll have to see if Horizon Hobby will take care of that. Another thing to notice that some people have complained on the internet that I think might be the case is going to be these plastic links on the steering. As you can see, obviously there's some extra flex here. Be interesting how that works out when it's on the trail. Now, of course, front and rear diffs on this are locked up, so spools in the front and the rear diff covers. But you got the wild bore drive shafts. Inside for power system is a 2 or 3S capable ESC, and then it's got a 35-turn motor. Now, watching the other videos about this truck, a lot of people have complained that it's relatively slow. So I can't wait to find out if that's the case, and if it is, we can definitely upgrade the motor because the 35-turn motor is super slow, so we could beef that up or even go brushless for a little additional power. Now, underneath this little hood here is going to be the spot to be able to put our 2 or 3S Lipo. Now, this should be capable of running a 2 or 3 full-size Lipo, but it does come with this EC3 connector, which is a little bit of an oversight. I'm not sure how many people are still using the EC3s. I typically use IC5, so we'll have to cut this off and get it replaced. But for the sake of demonstration, I've got this 6200 milliamp hour Ovonic battery, and this guy slides in pretty nice. You'll have to probably tuck the cables to get everything to go right through. But, well, the 3S pack, just an HRB, a cheap battery, not even a chance. So, because of that, I've gone ahead and I've ordered some Softcase 3S Lipos, and we'll cross our fingers that those fit. And just like that, the batteries have arrived. Woohoo! So I'm not expecting to be using these too much, so I went ahead and just got some El Cheapo batteries. Some HOOVOs, although I think these are their 80C gold ones. Let's see, how do we get into this? Like that, into here. Now, these come with a Dean's plug, so we'll go ahead and cut that out. But you can see this battery and this battery are definitely different in size. So, is it going to be different enough that it fits in? Well, that is the question. Enough talking about this truck. It's time to go ahead, chop the EC3 off, put an IC5 on, and get this thing out to the trail. And here goes nothing. Snip. Snip. And after a little bit of soldering, you can see we've got the EC5 connector on there and the batteries I had to buy to be able to run it. And this does fit a little snug, but she clears down and ready to rip. Plus, look at those lights. All right, we are ready to go. Lights are on, it's turned on, and time to turn on the controller for the very first time. And steering, not the fastest, but it seems to be working. And then, all right, it's ready to roll. Look at it. Just look at that. Definitely has some torque twist issues. All right. Well, there you go. So two things I'm noticing here. The steering is not the tightest, so this is full right. It's definitely not as tight as a crawler would be. Full left. You get a little tighter turn going left than you do right. The other thing, the throttle, whoa, it does not like to stay up. So I've been talking about how bad the turning circle is of this truck. Basically what I want to do is put that to the test. So here I've lined it up with the white line there. I've got my controller in front of me and I'm going to do a hard turn right. We'll keep that going and let's see where it ends up with just a slow crawl as far as turning radius. So again, hard turn right. You can see I haven't let up on that. And here we're going to wait till it's roughly parallel, which is where we're at right there. So that's parallel with this line, and you can see hard turn right. So I'll let that go. And let's just go ahead, take our tape measure. And I'm gonna go ahead and take our tape measure, kind of line it straight up with the rear wheel. You can see that's going straight. And let's see just how wide this turning circle is. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, it is pretty crazy. So almost 195 inches. To give you an idea, that is just over 16 feet for it to come around. Now, let's go ahead and do that one more time, but instead, this time we're gonna take the truck and we'll start it up here so it actually gets a chance. And let's turn right to see what happens. Full right turn, and we'll go to parallel, so crawl again. It turns much, much tighter going right. So here we're still full tight, and that's parallel. So now if I take tape measure, we do the same thing, get right up to the edge there, come across, and you can see we're now at 123 inches. To give you an idea, from the end of that white line to the tape is how much less turning it takes when going to the right instead of the left. That's just crazy. Well, guys, I think on that last topple, that is time to talk about this truck, what I think of it, and then what advice I might have for you if you're looking to buy one of these. Well, high level, definitely like the truck, and I think it's going to be a great spot to start a build, create a pretty cool series, and make a really nice truck out of this. I mean, that wheel articulation is just incredible. I love the size and the look of the truck, I really do, but it doesn't come without some gripes. So first thing to mention, it is incredibly slow. On 3S, it is not very fast. It's slower than my Red Cat Gen 8, way slower than my wife's Wendigo, and definitely a place that I could see some upgrade. The other thing is the shocks are a bit lower quality than I would have expected. Most of them are now leaking. They're not quite as smooth as I would have thought, and it's a place where you could definitely upgrade. The other thing is, and I'm thinking of how to say this exactly, but just straight up, if I paid $480, which was the amount this truck retailed for, I would feel a bit disappointed. I'd feel like I got something left on the table. But at $250, all can be forgiven. That insane turning radius, that can be forgiven because there's upgrades that we'll do on the channel here to upgrade the C-hubs, the linkage, all that kind of stuff. The speed, it can be forgiven because, well, a brushless system could go in here and make it way nicer. And then, you know, just the overall handling and the flopping over, all can be solved with some upgrades and some weight added to the rig. And basically, I think that's my takeaway, is at $250, I feel like I got a really great value with this truck. That basically gives me, you know, about $250 to spend on upgrades, and I'm gonna end up with a way nicer truck than I could have gotten for, you know, $450 or $480 out of the box. The other thing, and I'm sure somebody at Axial is just going to hate this, is, well, it looks a lot like my very first RC that I got into it, my little WL toys. Now, obviously, totally different sizes, but are you telling me these don't look the same? I mean, chassis, all that stuff look really similar. And to me, that's just super cool to be able to basically bring back what I got into the sport with a nice 10th scale rig. Anyways, I really hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. While you're at it, be sure to browse the channel for other videos to check out as well. And I can't wait to see you RCing in another video.